Greetings of peace and good health, everyone. I am Archibeth Cardinas Flamiano, Doctor of Education, major in Educational Management and Leadership student of Sultan Kudarat State University, Tacurong City, Philippines. And today I'm so excited to present to you my study entitled Return to Complete Face-to-Face Learning, Level of Students' Academic Excitement and Challenges. Schools across the world were forced to make a sudden and unexpected academic switch to distance learning due to COVID 19. Students, their parents, and educators feel the extraordinary ripple effect of the unprecedented situation. Learning loss is significant. The pandemic had brought economic, social, and psychological repercussions on the learners' lives. Schools in areas with fewer cases of COVID-19 and high vaccination rates like United States of America have reopened and delivered complete face-to-face to minimize learning loss and other adverse impacts on the lives and wellness of learners. However, the return to complete face-to-face may bring excitement as they will be seeing friends and classmates again, and challenge as they may have thought they have lost many learning opportunities and experienced a lot of struggles and uncertainties, or both, as it has been more than a year since learners are in a traditional educational setting. The researcher would like to determine the academic excitement and challenges of students' return to complete face-to-face that will help schools and teachers worldwide plan and implement procedures and strategies to better assist learners in their successful transition from distance to traditional learning. As to the statement of the problem, what is the level of academic excitement of students on the return to complete face-to-face? What is the level of academic challenges of students on the return to complete face-to-face? What is the relationship and influence of the students' level of academic excitement to challenges on the return to complete face-to-face? The hypothesis is students' level of academic excitement has no significant relationship and influence to their academic challenges on the return to complete face-to-face. As to its conceptual framework, this study would like to know the relationship and influence of students' excitement towards school, their teachers, classmates, friends, and school activities and the learning process itself, to their academic challenges, including following norms and expectations, workload, and other personal and home factors. This study utilized a descriptive correlational research design. The total of 100 middle school students who return to school when it reopens were the respondents of the study. There are others who still remain doing distance learning due to health reasons. The researcher crafted the instrument from the literature review and tested it for content validity and reliability. The questionnaire was sent to the respondents through Google Form. It is made of three parts. Part 1 includes respondents' profiles such as sex, age, grade level, and race. Part 2 includes 20 statements describing students' academic excitement, divided into the aspects of school, teachers, classmates and friends, school activities, and the learning process. Part 3 includes 15 statements that describe students' academic challenges, divided into the aspects of school norms and expectations, workload, and personal and home factors. Respondents self-assess their level of academic excitement and challenges by clicking the appropriate box using a rating scale with corresponding descriptions as follows: 1.00 to 1.85, strongly disagree, with an interpretation of extremely low; 1.86 to 2.70, a description of disagree, with an interpretation of very low; 2.71 to 3.56, somewhat disagree, with an interpretation of low; 3.57 to 4.42, neither disagree nor agree, with an interpretation of moderate; 4.43 to 5.28, somewhat agree, with an interpretation of high; 5.29 to 6.13, agree, with an interpretation of very high; and 6.14 to 7, strongly agree, with an interpretation of extremely high. As to the statistical tools used, simple frequency count, weighted means, standard deviation, linear regression, and correlation analysis. Here's the description and interpretation of weighted means of the indicators on academic excitement of students and the return to full face to face. As you see, indicator 5 has the lowest weighted mean of 3.74 with a description of neither disagree nor agree and interpretation of moderate. Indicator 5 states that I am excited to go to school every day. This shows that is something that the student is not excited about with regards to their academic excitement on the return to full face to face. Indicator 19, which is I work hard to get good grades, has the highest weighted mean of 5.84 with a description of agree and interpretation of very high. This shows that the reason why students are excited to go to school is simply because they wanted to get good grades and they have to work hard to get it. As to the summary of the indicators in relation to the descriptions and interpretations and academic excitement of students on the return to full face to face, the grant mean is 5.12, a description of somewhat agree and interpretation of high, and a standard deviation of 0.51. This shows that academic excitement of students on the return to full face to face is high. Here's a description and interpretation of weighted means of the indicators on academic challenges of students on the return to full face to face. Indicator 3, which is I find it hard to follow school and class rules, has the lowest weighted mean of 3.10, with a description of somewhat disagree and interpretation of low. This shows that students don't find it hard to follow school and class rules. Indicator 7, which is I need more time to complete my work, has the highest weighted mean of 5.75 with a description of agree and interpretation of very high. This means that this is the most challenging aspect of the students as they return to full face to face. They have difficulty of completing tasks on time. That's why they need more time to complete their work. As to the summary of the indicators in relation to the description and interpretations on academic challenges of students on the return to full face to face, it has a grand mean of 4.25, a description of neither disagree nor agree, and an interpretation of moderate with a standard deviation of 0.81. It shows that students don't find it very challenging to return to school with a moderate interpretation. This table shows the regression and correlation analysis between the students' academic excitement X and their academic challenges Y, with a critical value of plus minus 1.99 with a t-test value of 0.6478 that comes out with a decision to accept the null hypothesis. There is no significant regression between the students' academic excitement and their academic challenges. The squared correlation coefficient R squared is equal to 0.0043 is the coefficient of determination. This number shows that only 0.43% of the variation is due to the student's academic excitement, X. The remaining 99.57% are attributed to other factors of students' academic challenges, Y. Therefore, the influence of students' academic excitement X to their academic challenges Y was only 0.43% linear correlation, or the relationship was negligible at R squared equals 0.0043 with no significant regression or relationship at 5% level of significance. Students' academic excitement is not related or influenced by their challenges and vice versa. As to the conclusion of the study, students' academic excitement on the return to complete face to face was high, while the level of academic challenges of students on the return to complete face to face was moderate. Students are highly excited to return to school with moderate challenges, and their academic excitement is not influenced by their challenges and vice versa. As to the recommendations, the researcher would like to recommend to the Department of Education that they can plan accordingly for reopening just like regular class openings. Students still learn, and being back to school is continuing the learning process into the classrooms. Its challenges do not influence students' academic excitement, as the findings of the study show. Schools need to provide professional development opportunities to help teachers plan lessons and activities that focus on making students motivated and engaged. This is the recommendation coming out from the result of the study, which is students are not excited to go to school every day. Teachers have to adjust lesson pacing, workload, and due dates. This adjustment will help students transition well until they are used to rigorous instructions. And this is in response to the result of the study. Students need more time to complete work. Another research of this kind is recommended to determine students' level of excitement and challenges that might be different from country to country. As to my references, thank you for listening.